know what? No, I won't let you decide anymore. You lost your chance. You chose Joe Matarese, and look where it got us.
I think it was the right choice.
I'm going with Brendan Schaub because I'm very excited to talk about this interview.
I would have picked him as well.
Oh my God. So Brendan Schaub was on with a guy named Coach HP, who this guy, I mean, if you want to talk about hangers on, Coach HP seems like a guy that so badly wants to be in Joe Rogan's world or Brendan Schaub, whatever, wherever he wants to go, he's willing to do anything to suck anyone to get there because he's got a mouthful in this interview. Oh my, I've never heard anything like this. It's unbelievable.
It's insane.
So I'll say our guy, I think he's now known as Unique Scion Z.
Yep.
Right, that guy?
Yep.
I saw him post a clip from this interview. And he only posted the last clip we're going to play.
Which is unbelievable.
It's crazy that he got through the entire episode and said, I only need to post this one. Because I, thank God, went and said, let me watch the entire thing. And oh my God, it doesn't stop. I've never heard whether it's a president or an interview like where something where like an employee has to speak to their boss at some event. I've never heard anything like this where it's a complete filleting of a man. And also, I don't know what the premise of this show is. So I guess this guy, Coach HP, I guess he's also had like Schultz on and stuff, which is why I saw people saying that like clearly he wants to get to Rogan somehow.
Maybe he's what his show is, the Ultimate Positivity Podcast.
Boy, I'll say.
Well, it sure is. He's not wrong or lying.
So I guess he's a baseball coach. And I think he like coaches Brendan's kid in baseball or like helps train him or something.
Oh, that's not going to be awkward then.
I don't know.
His wife's going to like questions.
But so Coach HP does this positivity podcast. And I don't know what the point of it is because this episode was either sucking off Brendan or jerking off himself.
Or interrupting Schaub when he's talking, I noticed.
To jerk himself off and then blow Brendan. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe that's what he does every week, or he's just a big Schaub fan. I don't really know. But like, this is incredible. I've never heard a podcast like this.
Yep. First clip is Underappreciated.
Yeah. Particularly, by the way, thick boy for life. But when we're talking about the guy we're talking about, I'm amazed he talks with this, like idol worship.
Brendan, I don't know if you're going to agree with me in this or not, but to me, you are one of the most...
Wait, hold on. Yeah, Brendan had the right reaction.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to agree with me on that. Now, when Brendan has heard that in his life...
It's not followed by something good.
It's typically on Reddit.
Right.
Hey, gang, I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this or not, but this guy, I mean, fucking sucks.
Of all people to bring up the Reddit and make me have to talk about it, it's this guy.
So Brendan is right to be hesitant. But don't worry, buddy. Hey, put your guard down, my friend, because there are no weapons here, unless you include this guy's mouth.
In this or not, but to me, you are one of the most underappreciated talents that we have right now in our era with what we have. With your
Can I just point out what he's saying there? That's not just comedy.
Nope, just in general.
Humanity. One of the most underappreciated talents in life, whether it's the arts or culinary or politics, just talented. He's just a talented man, so much so that he's like in the upper 1% of the entire world.
I mean, he is. You are wearing his hat.
Damn straight. Yeah, I'm not saying I disagree with the guy. I'm just saying listen to how he's saying it,
I mean, Blind Mike Project shirt, thick boy hat. What better combo? You can get yours at blindmike.net.
Yeah, go to blindmike.net for a shirt like this, gang.
In our era with what we have.
And I do just want to point out the sound being left and right for whoever's talking is not my fault. Just want everyone
I don't know what you're talking about. I hear it out of both headphones.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, the people listening won't. Like on
great.
audio. So, yeah.
With your background.
Hold on. Well, whatever. Never mind. Why? I heard it. I'm listening to it.
It's so when this guy's talking, it's left side. When Schaub's talking, it's right side. So whoever put this out had it set up.
But that's not how I listen to it on my phone.
That's maybe did the broken link have it the normal way, and then the new one was this way, possibly?
Whatever. Let's just play the clip.
Your ability, man, to not only pursue your dreams, but follow signs and just keep going and don't giving up. We as a society, because I almost look at myself, when I watch you, I see you as like from an outsider in, like we don't give you, and as a former athlete, enough credit for everything you've done, man. And how you take care of people and how you're like a friend to everybody, man. Do you feel that a lot?
Nelson Mandela, Che Guevara, Brendan Schaub.
You forgot Gandhi, dude.
Gandhi, I'll throw him in there. Well, he's fourth. I'd put him fourth, actually.
Yeah. You're a friend to everyone.
Go back. This is like a humanitarian. This is what I mean, an entertainer might get this speech at like the Kennedy Center honors or something, you know?
Did Schaub buy his kids' team like new uniforms right before this?
I don't know what happened.
We as a society, because I almost look at myself, when I watch you, I see you as like from an outsider in, like we don't give you, and as a former athlete, enough credit for everything you've done, man. And how you take care of people and how you're like a friend to everybody, man. Do you feel that a lot or no?
Yeah, as far as like underappreciated, yeah.
Oh, hold on. I forget. So this is a pro Brendan Schaub podcast. You guys all know that, right?
The one that we're watching.
Yeah. This one. Don't get it twisted. We're a Brendan Schaub podcast. This is the worst landing spot for him. Because we've been working on something with Brendan. You know, we're trying to get him to play into the critics more.
Correct.
And have a little more fun with it.
And I gotta say, though, having to watch this and cut it and everything, more towards the end, he's more comfortable, but you could tell Schaub's like, is this a fucking bit? Like, throughout the first half.
Well, this is like the worst place he could have been, because it's, there's an episode of Community where Jeff's ego, like it's represented by an apple, and eventually it explodes. And this is what's happening to Brendan here, where at the beginning of this episode, he's like, "Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate these compliments." And then by the end, he's like, "You are correct about everything you said."
I am God.
And you're like, "No." Meanwhile, I'm sprinting to Florida or wherever this guy is. No, Brendan.
I believe.
Don't listen to him.
I believe this is being filmed in.
You're right. It's in California, because we'll get to some of the geographics of this at the end. But you're right. It is in California.
No.
Yeah. As far as like underappreciated, yeah, I don't know. That's always a weird thing, right? So I think.
Good answer.
It's just kind of, I don't know who gets their flowers. You know, everyone gets their flowers once they're gone.
Okay, well, that's a little. You can see it already starting, where Brendan's like, listen, if I accepted that I'm going to be celebrated once I'm dead, absolutely.
When I'm dead, people appreciate my brain.
That's the thing. Is once I die, much like Mitch Hedberg and Patrice O'Neill, finally people will appreciate me once I go. But listen, I'm ahead of my time, so people just don't get it right now. You know what, Coach HP, you're right. This is where Brendan Coach HP is massaging that ego, and Brendan's starting to feel a little comfortable.
Having to pull up the second clip, I thought this happened further down in the episode. So this next one's called "Lots of Love," so it starts earlier than I thought.
Yeah. There's lots of love out there for Brendan Schaub.
I think one of the benefits I have that a lot of people don't is I'm not that famous, but I get a lot of love when I get coffee every morning. I get a lot of love when I get coffee. I get a lot of love last night when I'm walking around Hollywood. One of my best friends, my manager Lex, with me. We go get tacos. People are in there saying what's up. So I get a lot of positive, actual human interaction.
Right.
Where if I didn't have that and I just read like YouTube comments or Reddit comments, I'm gonna jump off the side of the building.
But let me correct you. You are.
Hold on. Yeah. I'll at least give Brendan that, because he's recognizable enough that I'm sure. And I bet people aren't dicks in real life, that they're like, "Hey, Schaub, what's up?"
Yeah,
he gets that a lot.
He's a UFC fighter on Rogan. Despite what you want to think, has a popular podcast or one that gets viewed a ton.
Yeah. But at least he says, if I just read Reddit and Twitter all day, I'd jump off a fucking building. Good for you, Brendan. You're realizing that. And here's Coach HP to say, Oh no, Brendan.
Read it. Maybe he's
Read
maybe Coach HP's a sleeper cell. He's like, read it.
You
Brendan.
should read Reddit. Yes. Read all of it, Brendan.
Comments or Reddit comments, man, I'm gonna jump off the side of the
No,
building.
but
you
let
know?
me correct you. You are
Let me
famous,
correct
That's
you.
number one. But
Let me correct you. Reddit actually loves you. As a matter of fact, go to the Fighter and the Kid subreddit right now. I'm sure they're saying something nice about Brendan.
They're all wearing your merch, dude.
Well, one of them is.
Yeah.
Side of the
no,
building,
but
you
let me
know?
correct you. You are famous, right? That's number one. But you
Hold on. You didn't have to correct him about what? He said that.
He said, I know. He goes, no, I get recognized quite a bit, actually.
Let me correct you. You're not just famous. You're really famous.
I was a top 10 fighter in my weight class
Let me correct you about something.
in the world, not just California, the world. I was a top 10 fighter.
Well, not far enough. It's George Clooney and then you, my friend. That's the ranking system that I have.
Side of the
no,
building,
but
you
let me
know?
correct you. You are famous, right? That's number one. But you're more because the problem is your packaging doesn't come with a good dude. But you're a good dude. Good looking guy, great set of hair, tall, tats, the whole vibe.
Massive cock.
Those thighs. Oh,
Charitable. You know, love to fund a baseball team when necessary.
Read Reddit.
Brendan, you're not just the most talented. By the way, keep in mind we're talking about Brendan Schaub here. You know what I mean? Like if he was talking to Drake, who I'll mention for no reason, if he was talking to Drake, this would be a lot. But like he's talking to Brendan Schaub, and he's like, "You're one of the most talented people on the planet, and also, can I add, you're really good looking." You're in great shape. You're a great guy. Like,
Yeah.
how many other things can I say about this man?
That hair of yours. Oof.
Tall, the tats, the whole vibe. But your exterior doesn't match
Correct.
the thing till
Oh,
they
no.
get
Brendan.
it's on TV or here where it's edited
Correct.
and stuff. So my thing, because I mention you a lot with a lot of athletes and a lot of parents and a lot of stuff. I go, let me tell you about Brendan Schaub.
I wonder who the other athletes are. Muhammad Ali. I mentioned you in the same breath as a lot of athletes.
How do you have so much access to like famous people?
No. That actually, what he's actually saying is like he mentions him in his coaching. So like when he's working with a kid,
That's an athlete.
Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub. Just whispers it in their ear just to
No.
motivate him.
It's a bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, tie game, 2 outs. He goes up to the guy on his team batting. He's like, I need Schaub mentality out of you right now.
What would Brendan Schaub do? He hands him a thick boy wristband.
Oh, you'd hit this
Swing
ball.
for the fences.
I was gonna say he'd hit this ball to the moon, sir.
There's just a team of 7-year-olds that's solely dedicated to Brendan Schaub.
They all have his haircut.
Thick boy for life.
The name on the back of all their jerseys is Schaub.
We play for the name on the front and the name on the back.
Next, we have uniquely funny.
I mean, come on. The title speaks for itself, but Jesus Christ, where is this going to go? Let's see. I hope he's talking about Bo Burnham or something.
Someone, Nathan Fielder.
Yeah.
But with you, it's like, oh, and now he's funny?
Yeah.
Because
No.
I was telling this to Dougie Fresh.
Hold on. If you don't remember the context from the last clip, what he's saying is, what Coach HP is saying is, when you look at Brendan, he's such an Adonis.
Mm-hmm.
You look at this man and say, how can he be so perfect physically? Surely he must have a terrible personality. But then you watch Gringo Poppy and you think, what? Can one man really have it all?
Can someone really have that much material on tacos?
How good can this guy be at everything? It's not fair. Why does God work in such mysterious ways?
And we have to say, we went and saw Brendan Schaub, and what a night that was.
We had fun. It's true.
But with you, it's like, oh, and now he's funny?
Yeah.
Because I was telling this to Dougie Fresh earlier today. You will not find a funnier guy on the spot, charismatic with sarcasm like you. That doesn't exist.
What?
You're fun.
What?
That is a heavy.
Just none
I'm like,
anywhere.
I'm speechless right now.
Does he mean like in the room? Like, hey, I've been looking. And I checked the place. I swept the place for funnier guys, and I
Yeah.
couldn't find one. I guarantee you're not gonna find one in here.
There's like 4 or 5 guys in here, and you're funnier than all of them.
Just on the planet, you're not gonna find a funnier guy anywhere.
I have to start this clip over. We gotta really drink this in. This one's me, guys. Don't give Mike crap. I started this one over.
But with you, it's like, oh, and now he's funny?
Yeah.
Because I was telling this to Dougie Fresh earlier today. You will not find a funnier guy on the spot.
By the way, do we know who Dougie Fresh is? Or is it just like his friend?
It's like his producer, I guess. It's a man who seems to be there in the room with them because they reference him a few times.
Charismatic with sarcasm like you. That doesn't exist.
I'll take it, bro.
You're funny as like
Brendan, you shouldn't give it back. It seems nuclear. You don't want to touch it.
He goes, I'll take it. I'm going to hire you as my therapist. Please move on and talk about anything else.
Don't hire this guy as your therapist. He'd be Brendan, you do nothing wrong, actually.
Read Reddit, pussy.
Don't work on anything. You're perfect.
This guy's going to start introducing like those flash images from the original Shining that, just pop up. And it's going to be Reddit comments.
Listen, I thought God gave everyone at least one flaw. And then I met Brendan Schaub. And I said, wow, his actual masterpiece. God, you've done it.
I think
You've created the perfect man.
Did you by any chance peruse the comments on this episode?
No.
I didn't either, but I'm just realizing I don't know why I hadn't.
That's a good point. It didn't dawn on me.
Probably
there were only like 1,000 views on it, so I don't know if everyone has caught it yet. If you know what I mean.
No, they better. Yeah.
No. Listen, when you do the Fight Club companion, which the last one was a hit.
Yeah.
How you kept ragging on Brad for telling
Bradley,
hey, 260. Hey, really?
Yeah.
Nobody does that like you, bro. So.
Oh my
God. This is way worse than the Farley McCartney sketch.
Yeah, and it's real.
Nobody does that like you. Like,
dude, what if this guy is a Reddit troll and he's doing this strictly to get the sound bites?
There's no other explanation. To say this to Dave Chappelle would be really pouring it on.
No kidding. No kidding.
Jesus
if Chappelle appeared on this program, be like, Jay's like the best, and then we just start asking him questions, not be like, another time that you were the funniest guy we've ever heard.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like say we got a comedian I really liked on, I would probably gush over. I'm sure there's clips we could play where I'm corny, but eventually I'd ask him a fucking question. Other than, I think the only question that Coach HP asked is simply, "How do you do it, Brendan? How do you have it all?"
Does your greatness know no bounds?
It's like real life what Rupert Pupkin imagined Jerry Langford saying to him in The King of Comedy. But he's really doing that. He's like, Brendan, you've got it.
That's right. But here we've been asking questions about Coach.
Okay.
His claim to fame. Like, where'd he come from?
Okay, so I feel like I have to set this up a little bit.
I think
Coach HP is a baseball coach who I guess played baseball and grew up in Florida. I don't know that it needs setup because it's not possible to set it up any other way than he says it. Let's just hear this.
So a little bit about me is I'm the biggest failure in the history of Miami baseball by far.
Hold on. Okay. That's the best way to set it up. So I guess he was a colossal failure. Now, I would take that to mean he was like in college, the number one prospect of, like, they said similar things to Bryce Harper. Like when Bryce Harper was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was 16 years old. That must have been Coach HP in Florida. Like, they said this kid can't miss. He's the next fucking Mike Trout or Mickey Mantle or whoever. And then he ended up not making it. That's what I would think of as the biggest failure in Florida baseball. But let's start this clip over and listen to what he describes.
So a little bit about me is I'm the biggest failure in the history of Miami baseball by far. I don't know if you know that.
It's a great way to introduce. Sorry, it's a great way to introduce yourself. By the way,
I stink.
A little bit about me. I'm the biggest failure in the history of. Which again, this guy talks in such amazing extremes, where it's like there's no way that's possible. Even if you were terrible at baseball,
Right.
there's no way you could be. We would have heard about you if it was this colossal.
So a little bit about me is I'm the biggest failure in the history of Miami baseball by far. I don't know if you know that.
How so?
My dad
I don't know if you
prepared
know
me
that.
for everything in life except to deal with him. So my dad beat the shit out of me all through growing up, a Cuban guy in the 80s. And I became famous for having a dad that would just fuck me up in front of everybody. Like really, 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 really bad.
Like famous.
People signing autographs.
There he is. Hey, can you make it? Can I take a picture with you and you pose like I'm giving you the black eye? Can we do that?
Can you sign this with your nose blood?
HP over here. Oh, wait, you know what? When your dad beat the shit out of you, that was the most uniquely funny thing I've ever seen in my life.
Imagine being famous because your dad beats you.
There he is. The victim of domestic violence. It's Coach HP. Yeah, now obviously, sure. Have I gotten the autograph of a woman whose husband beats the shit out of her when she burns a pot roast? I have a few autographs, yeah. But I wouldn't call them the most famous person in my town.
Next, we have a short clip, and it's just, I don't get the reference.
Oh, so I'll just explain a little more about Coach HP's baseball career, where he says that, like, he blew out his arm when he was, like, 13 or something. So that's why he says he's the biggest failure in the history of Florida baseball, is that, like, his dad overworked him, like, made him pitch too many innings. So when he was 13, like, he blew out his arm, I guess. And it's like, wow, the terms in which you think of yourself. Like at age 12, everyone was like, this guy he's Shohei Ohtani. This guy's got it.
He doesn't have a glass jaw, as we saw after the game.
Well, that's what he's famous for. I'm talking about his side project of baseball.
He's just a brick shit house like Homer Simpson.
I'm not talking about what he's most known for. Yeah, the two images if you think of a father strangling a son, it's Homer and Bart Simpson and Coach HP and his dad.
Coach HP with his dad's knuckles indented on his forehead.
I remember when I was a kid, I had the Coach HP toy that you squeeze and his eyes bulge out. I was really famous for this. All right, so yeah, I don't get this reference that we're about to hear, and maybe I'm missing something.
I'll get that too. So like I'll say something like, "Oh yeah, Rogan opened that new club in Austin." Like club, I'm like, yeah, it's for stand-up mothership. Like Rogan does comedy. He's the Fear Factor guy. I'm like, are you shitting me?
Yeah, they don't know.
You know, Hot Tub Time Machine.
What does that mean?
Was he in Hot Tub Time Machine?
No, Brendan's saying you don't know Joe Rogan as a comedian. You must own a hot tub time machine.
Oh, I really don't get it.
Neither do I. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, hot tub time machine, it was a hot tub, but it worked as a regular time machine, right?
It worked as a regular time machine and a regular hot tub. Just don't
Are you
spill that
eating that?
energy drink on it.
Listen, we're not here to focus on Brendan's aspect of this interview, but what are you in a hot tub time machine? What does that mean? That feels very bong hit transplant, where I'm like, what do you mean?
Because even if you were in a time machine and you went back to Fear Factor, he was still a comic.
Right. Yeah, I don't get what he's... Also, now, even if you had this hot tub time machine, he's way more famous for his podcast.
Way more.
So it's weirder that someone now would think of him as the Fear Factor guy because he has the biggest podcast on the planet.
He is so known for the podcast. 13 million people listen to it. That's fucking nuts.
I might start using that now. What are you, in a hot tub time machine?
Please.
Hey, Mike, did you do the dishes yet? What are you in a hot tub time machine, sweetheart?
That'll go well.
What does that mean?
It'll piss
Who
her off.
knows?
It'll piss her off and confuse her.
Well, then I can get famous by knocking her out.
Or even more famous if she knocks you out.
There he goes. The domestic violence victim.
Yeah, why couldn't you beat me in front of my baseball team when I was younger?
I don't understand. Was this getting like reported on the news? Why was he so famous?
I have no idea. I feel like we got to do a deep dive into this guy at some point.
It'd be great if like we Google image Coach HP and it's just images of his father beating the shit out of him. Oh my God, I mean, he's not wrong.
Because he didn't say like, like locally famous or his town was aware that his dad beat him.
No, he said, here's a little bit about me. I don't know if you know this. I was the biggest failure in Florida baseball history. I got famous because my dad beat the shit out of me. That's what he said. I can only go by the man's words.
Oh, that'd be so great just because he knows Schaub is a UFC fighter. He's like, dude, I'm only doing this interview. I need you to do me a huge favor. Can you come to Christmas with me?
By the time we put this 80-year-old out of his misery.
Next we have the Schaub legacy.
Well, this is, I mean, you guys think of Brendan Schaub now, but what about Schaub's generations from now?
You now, as a dad, you get your son on Sundays. You go to the car place.
Oh yeah, we have
You show him
routine.
around the
Yeah,
ice cream. So you're a routine guy. Routine is so important.
Yeah.
And the habit, because that's what you're going to remember. So what's going to happen? You're creating a legacy right now without even knowing.
Yep.
And you got two boys, which are the sex that's losing now the most is boys because of guys like you are not around.
It's like the comedy equivalent of the Kennedys, where like generations from now we'll be like, another Schaub? Can this family have any more?
I have to give Schaub credit. Most of the time he's like being polite, but you can see it on his face. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but well, here's the thing is I can't even blame. So there are points where you can tell he allows it to happen.
Yeah.
But like that would be anybody. If you just sat here and spoke about me like this, eventually I'd be like, well, you are right. I am pretty swell.
Wait till we see the next time you're on with David Collins.
Boy, I am the belle of the ball. You're not wrong.
This next one is an Adam Egget question.
Yeah, so you guys, we talk a lot about Norm, and you guys remember Adam Egget asking, where do you get your ideas from? I would say this is on par with that, and just as funny, I would say.
And not a joke.
You're the godfather of this podcast space.
I mean, already, hold on. Jesus Christ.
Does he mean the physical room he's in? Because he is in Schaub's room. It's the table says Thick Boy on it. So
like, the Godfather. Like, how would that not be Rogan or Marin? And if we're gonna trickle down, maybe Adam Carolla or Adam Curry. I'd allow any of those. Brendan Schaub's the Godfather of podcasting now.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Jesus Christ! And by the way, I didn't pick moments from like this guy buttering Brendan up at the beginning. These are scattered throughout the entire. It's what the whole episode is.
This episode is an hour and like 4 minutes long. It's the entirety of the episode.
I have clips from every 3 minutes. There's a new clip.
You're the godfather of this podcast space in your group with what you've done, right?
He says in your group, which includes, by the way, Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn. At a time, Chris D'Elia.
Segura, Kreischer.
Kreischer.
Most of them are more successful than Brendan at this point.
I need Coach HP to go look at the top charts. Everyone in his group is at the top of those.
Now Coach HP is making me say that Brendan is unsuccessful because he's a successful guy, sure. The Godfather of podcasting? He's literally friends with the biggest podcasters.
They're all his best friends. Like if you look at that Twitter thing that shows all your relationships with everyone you engage with, they're all way bigger in the medium than him.
Except Eric Griffin. That's the only one you could argue.
Yeah, and that was just wasn't that a D'Elia replacement?
All right.
We gotta get rid of this guy.
You're the godfather of this podcast space in your group with what you've done, right? What, in your opinion, because I know you always say a lot of people now, everybody has a podcast and stuff. What makes a good podcast in your opinion? You're a borderline expert in this thing. Like, man, in your bones, I like this, I like that. In your opinion, what makes it good?
What makes you good?
To Brendan's credit, he's like, I don't know, a lot of things. Like, how are you going to answer that? What makes a good podcast? There's about 300. So I don't know. Go find one.
I don't know. I'm confident in myself, I guess. Like, jeez, guy.
A terrible question, but it's on the must-ask list if you're thinking of ways to jerk this guy off.
Yeah.
There are only so many things you can ask if you have to be this glowing about everything Brendan.
No, we move. Let's just move. Let's move past it. It was a one-off, probably, right?
Yeah, maybe he's done now.
Yeah. Next clip is Brendan's greatest strength.
Oh, good. I was hoping we'd get to that because we've heard of so many of his strengths.
That's right.
But I've been thinking, which is his greatest?
Dude, because I want to take that out of your whole thing. Because why do you think you're so good on Fight Companion? Because you're not thinking.
Correct.
You're like boom, boom.
Sometimes I get in trouble. Sometimes
you're so good shooting from the hip.
You know what that is? It's it'd be like if you're a 7-year-old playing with 14-year-olds who are all stars at baseball.
Okay, none of this makes sense to me.
I think I shockingly know what he means there.
Of course you do. Go ahead.
No, because he's with a bunch of people watching fights, but he's been in the octagon, so he's like
How is that a 17-year-old playing with 14-year-olds?
He's that much more experienced in the field. That's
It'd be the opposite.
That's as best as I can. No, he's the 14-year-old in this scenario.
No, he's the 7-year-old.
Then I have no fucking clue. I'm trying.
How would a 17-year-old playing with 14-year-olds make him the 14-year-old?
7-year-old versus 14-year-old?
Well, now we have to listen again so Craig can understand. Listen to the clip again.
Maybe if it's 17, not 7. Okay.
Dude, because I want to take that out of your whole thing. Because why?
Craig's not understanding. Would you just say 17?
I thought it's 7 and 14-year-olds.
It is.
Yeah, and I thought in this scenario,
Craig is so flustered. We're bringing up 7 and 14-year-olds. You can't think straight.
That's just bullshit.
Come if you have to. Get a clear mind and listen to the clip.
On Fight Companion, because you're not thinking.
Correct.
You're like boom, boom.
Sometimes I get in trouble.
Sometimes you're so good shooting from the hip.
You know what that is? It's it'd be like if you're a 7-year-old playing with 14-year-olds who are all stars at baseball.
Yeah, I think he's saying he's the old all-star that's
he's all of them, Craig. How would that analogy make any sense? How would he be?
I don't know. I thought we were
doesn't make any sense.
I thought we were Team Brendan on this show.
We're not just gonna lie. What are you talking about? What you said doesn't make any sense.
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about.
In his analogy, he is the multiple people, and everyone else is the one kid.
Yeah, I don't fucking. This
is what happens. You bring up a 7-year-old, and Craig's all excited.
This is erroneous.
So filled with jizz. Get it out of your ears.
Joe Matarese.
Jesus Christ. Can we play that clip again so I can make fun of it now that you understand it?
Yeah. I was trying to help him out. I don't know.
Dude, because I want to take that out of your whole thing. Because why do you think you're so good on Fight Companion? Because you're not thinking.
Hold on. I wish you let Brendan answer. Why do you think you're so good?
The answer should be because I was a top 10 UFC.
Yeah, I'm experienced. I'm a good communicator, and I'm experienced in the field, so I know what I'm talking about, and I'm able to deliver my message well.
For instance,
you've put zero thought into it.
You don't think, dude.
You know what I like about you and your insight is you've never put an ounce of thought into any of it.
Your brain is off when you're doing this.
You're just spewing out horse shit. It doesn't even register in your mind. It's just falling out of your mouth.
Dude, because I want to take that out of your whole thing. Because why do you think you're so good on Fight Companion? Because you're not thinking.
Correct.
You're like boom, boom.
Sometimes I get in trouble.
I don't think Brendan was thinking there, ironically.
I think he's checked out.
Why do you think you're so good on this podcast? Because you're not thinking. Correct. Immediately, he interrupts him to say correct. That's not why, Brent. I don't know if he's good or not. I don't watch those. But that's certainly not why you're good, is because you put no thought into it.
And aren't the fight companions stolen from Rogan?
Yeah, pretty much. But hey, I mean, Rogan's not the only guy to do that type of shit, you know?
No, I know, but it's like legit the exact same show.
Yeah, it's a little weird when it's like, you know, Brendan is a fighter, so I understand why he would do fight analysis.
For sure.
You know?
So good shooting from the hip.
You know what that is? It's it'd be like if you're a 7-year-old playing with 14-year-olds who are all stars at baseball.
I don't know why I defended that. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Of course it doesn't. But Craig just saw the kids running around the field in their little outfits that he thinks are so cute.
Nope, that's not what happened at all.
Coach HP, could you make your uniforms a little tighter?
See, like the announcers would have been like, I'm the fucking senior, and they're all freshmen that have never played before. Or something.
I don't get. So he's trying to say that if you're a 7-year-old and you don't have a brain, so if you put a retarded 7-year-old on a team of 14-year-olds, that kid is going to be the greatest comedian on the planet. I think that's what the analogy is.
And he's going to know exactly what's going on in this fight.
If you put a dim-witted 7-year-old on a team of high school, on the freshman baseball team, they're going to be the Godfather of California podcasting.
This is like when the Corleones moved to Reno and everyone else took over in New York. That's Schaub's role now in California.
Right. Yeah.
This is a clip that you foreshadowed about a rapper.
Oh, well, hey. When you're thinking of famous people, I would say, like, Taylor Swift is probably the most famous musician, maybe the most famous artist, certainly in America right now.
The whole world.
I'd say the world. I don't know enough internationally to really argue with it, because then someone will answer with some, Spanish singer we've never heard of or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say America. Taylor Swift. Drake is probably second, right?
You could argue.
He's up there.
Yep.
Let's hear how Brendan Schaub's exactly like Drake.
Your point too with I don't mean to interrupt.
No,
your point too with Drake. What I find fascinating about Drake, obviously everyone loves Drake. He's the biggest in the world. He's all good, money wise, success. There's nobody bigger. If you've seen his house, his car, it's insane. But now he's like, all right, I've checked that box. Now I want people to get to know me. And you see him on these podcasts. Like you saw that podcast with the little white girl.
The chick, yeah.
He's so funny.
But he's like you.
He's so good.
Hold on.
Just like you, right?
We're gonna find out how. But like Brendan's not even done talking, and he's like you. He's exactly like you, Brendan. It's Drake and you.
Like this is one of those ones that like an episode comes out and Brendan, his team has to be like, this needs to get nuked off the internet.
In a way, it's actually kind of an insult what he said. Like Brendan saying Drake is like really funny in interviews, like funnier than you would expect a musician to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach HP just heard the word funny and was like, "Oh, Brendan, compliment time. He's just like you."
Yeah,
he's funny, he's just like you.
You're a fighter. You're not allowed to have a sense of humor.
Well, if you told like Louis C.K. like, "Hey, you're about as funny as Drake," I don't know if that would be a compliment necessarily.
Nope.
Podcast that you saw that podcast with the little white girl.
The chick, yeah.
He's so funny. He's so funny.
But he's like you.
He's so good.
But he remember his first video. Remember he played all the characters.
Yes.
And he makes fun of himself.
So good, dude.
So that
I think people see that, and granted, you realize he's the best rapper in the game today.
Yeah.
But him doing this, going out there, and he's on Caleb Presley's podcast, and he's laughing, talking about his son.
Yeah.
And he goes with that little white girl. I think it knocks down that wall. You're like, oh my, he's just like us,
and that's you.
Yeah.
But except for the hair, the chain, the robe.
Again, I'll credit Brendan because like Brendan's not even trying to make it about him at all. He's just complimenting Drake. Has nothing to do with Brendan. And this guy is like, we're getting way too. We're talking about a third person. We're talking about someone that isn't in the room right now? No. I gotta steer this thing right back to how great Brendan is.
He brings up his appearance again too. He goes back to the hair, man.
It's just like you. Brendan's talking about how funny Drake is, and he's like, that's exactly like your great head of hair.
And the other thing is too, is Schaub's like, yeah, you just wouldn't expect it from him. He's funny. Like for a rapper on a podcast, he's an entertaining listen. And he's like,
just like you.
Just like you.
That's just like you.
The chain, the hair.
Malone.
Oh, I wish Joe Matarese was on this episode.
Yeah. But except you're 6'4", set of hair.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We misunderstood. Go back a little bit. That was silly us. I said he was saying Brendan's as good as Drake. What am I, a fucking moron? Brendan is so much better than Drake. He's taller, he's got better hair, he's more handsome, he's more buff, he's funnier. Brendan is Drake if Drake were perfect.
Come on.
Rapper in the game today. Yeah. But him doing this, going out there and he's on Caleb Presley's podcast and he's laughing, talking about his son. Yeah. And he goes with that little white girl. I think it knocks down that wall. You're like, oh my, he's just like us.
And that's you.
Yeah.
But except you're 6'4", set of hair, the chain, the rollie, the fucking Ferrari. So people,
Brendan, why are you saying yeah to all of this? Is there nothing in you that's like, well, no?
He does look uncomfortable.
I can't imagine not being when you're just having a conversation about how great Drake is, and this guy's like, well, that's like you, but you're better. Okay, how did we get here?
You're the best.
And that would be so uncomfortable. I feel like even if you were a famous person that is used to having people kiss their ass, if this guy, they're just talking about a musician, and he's like, but Brendan, this is like a bad scripted movie. Like, you know, in like 90s comedies, there would be the bully, and then there was like one of his henchmen always kicking his ass. Like, hey, you're the man, Brendan. Don't let anyone like Bradley Cooper in Wedding Crashers.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're the sack. That's what this guy is. Where like the conversation's not even about, and now eventually Brendan's like, you're right, I am all those things.
Yeah, but you can see if you're watching along, you can see that Schaub's kind of like uncomfortable.
I hope so. I hope that's true.
He's laughing, talking about his son. Yeah. And he goes with that little white girl. I think it knocks down that wall. You're like, oh my, he's just like us.
And that's you.
Yeah.
But except you're 6'4", set of hair, the chain, the rollie, the fucking Ferrari. So people get it, they forget that. But if somebody
you don't think Drake can afford a car?
I think he's got probably 6 Ferraris at every house he owns.
I mean, you know, Drake's pretty cool, but does he have a vehicle?
Does he have a Rolex to tell the time on his wrist?
You're not taking the bus like Drake.
He lives in Canada. Ew.
Coolest guy in the world. Bro. This guy will even back me.
Yep. Oh yeah.
But you see what I'm saying?
It's my favorite thing to do.
That's what you do.
That's what you do. You're the greatest, Brendan.
This is the
It's
best.
crazy. It doesn't stop for an hour and 10 minutes or whatever the hell it was.
We have 3 clips left of this.
Jesus Christ. Well, what's the next one?
This one is all right. This is one that I will give Schaub credit again, but this one's still on the rise.
Oh, well, I'm sure I'm gonna have to call you wrong again if I remember right, but let's hear it.
Oh, I'll give him credit for a part of it.
Okay.
I get a vibe. Your comedy you've been doing for a while. This is your peak. You're here right now, bro.
Jesus Christ.
No.
So this is where I give him credit right there.
Jesus Christ.
He goes, here's your peak. Here's where you're at. And Schaub goes, no. And he puts his where he's at way down.
Okay, good. Brendan's trying to be a little self-deprecating.
He's like, please stop this.
Okay, good.
I was hoping.
Hey, they are going to bust my balls so bad for this.
So he grabs his hand where he says he's at, and he like pushes. He's like, more like here.
Yeah. See, guys, I'm trying to correct him.
I just want Schaub.
I can't control this maniac.
I want Schaub to just go like, dude, I'm not gonna fuck you. He's off the table.
I got a vibe. Your comedy you've been doing for a while. This is your peak. You're here right now, bro.
Yeah, I'd even go here.
No. I'm saying, look, I'm calling you. You're right here, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be a time where
He can't even laugh at that. Like Brendan's making a joke, and he's like, "No, Brendan."
He's like,
no self-deprecation here.
this is no laughing matter, Brendan.
Unlike you, every punchline you say, this is not a laughing matter.
gonna play together.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Bro.
Yeah, brother. Yeah,
Like,
and
you're
I know
literally gonna
that.
sit there and be like,
Yeah.
like you're gonna be with your son in Madison Square Garden. I'm telling you, Tiger was gonna whatever,
Yeah.
and you're gonna sit there and go, ho, look at me now, bro.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden. Oh, I almost missed that.
Yeah.
Go back. This guy's trying to convince poor Brendan he's going to be at Madison Square Garden.
To be fair, he's what, like 8 years in? In 8 more years, maybe.
Coach HP, hold on. Now to both of you assholes, you and Coach HP. We were at Laugh Boston a year ago at this time, I believe. Last October, November, something like that.
Quarterful.
We walked in there and seats about
300.
250 people, I think.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
We had room to stretch our legs for sure.
Yeah, I thought there was a little room.
It's Trader Joe's
Now,
back
you
there.
guys, now I got to inform you and Coach HP. Maybe you don't know this. Madison Square Garden holds 20,000 people.
Sure. WrestleMania 20.
So roughly 1,000 of Laugh Boston. So I don't think anytime soon Brendan Schaub will be making the same Andrew Schultz video with his dad crying at an empty MSG.
No. I'm saying, look, I'm calling you. You're right here, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be a time where this is all these things are gonna play together.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, brother. Yeah,
Like,
and
you're
I know
literally gonna
that.
sit there and be like,
Yeah.
like you're gonna be with your son in Madison Square Garden. I'm telling you, Tiger was gonna whatever,
Yeah.
and you're gonna sit there and go, ho, look at me now, bro.
Yeah.
It's coming, but in time.
Yeah.
You
Takes
know,
time,
we
brother.
did
Can't
this,
rush it.
okay? We
Yeah.
run.
With a little of my coaching. If I coach your son until he's 18, that's when I think if you keep paying me for the next 10 years, I think that's when you're going to hit Madison Square Garden.
I feel like I don't know if I'm reading Schaub wrong, but like the way he's like, yeah, it's kind of like, dude, stop.
I don't know. You keep taking it that way. I kind of take it like he's enjoying the massage a little bit.
I think both can be true, but he's not really speaking much. He's just kind of like, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
it's
well, I cut out a few of his responses, but
It's like dismissive sounding. Like, yeah. Sound off in the comments. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Sound off in the
you
comments.
guys let us know what you think. Oh, fuck. I forgot to do what Hackerite asked us. Oh, well, today's not the day to do it anyways, but apparently, like, YouTube wants us at the end of every segment to be like, and become a YouTube member. We have gifted memberships open now. But today would probably be a bad day to start that, huh?
Yeah,
I guess that-
we're pretending like we're never coming back to YouTube.
Yeah.
today.
Hey, fuck you guys.
You know
We'll
what?
See you next week.
You know what? We're gonna hit 5,000 subscribers on some platform.
Yeah. That'd be the real shame is to have to start over.
I know. Join us on Rumble.
yeah. All right. What's the next one?
Just hitting this drum again. No one like him.
I mean, he's one of a kind. If you haven't heard that yet, folks, he really is a unique talent.
7 years. I've been headlining 7 years now. Go and watch their video 7 years in. You can see my video. You know how cool that is? So the way I view it is in 5 years. So I've been doing it for 13. You know how much better I'll be? And you guys can go back and look at that stuff. Imagine if you do that with Bill Burr and Louis C.K. And I'm never the grind, like that never scares me. I embrace the grind.
No, and remember, we're not used to seeing funny guys like you.
Yes.
So it's whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait. It takes time, and it takes time. And
To your
Even Schaub just covers his mouth. He mentions Bill Burr and Louis C.K.
What have you forgotten, Brendan?
funny like you.
I don't think so. It's interesting because I don't think Brendan has forgotten funny people because he mentions Bill Burr and Louis C.K., two of the funniest of their generation. And what Coach HP says is, what you've forgotten is we've never seen someone as talented as you. Sure, we've seen assholes like Louis and Burr. Who gives a fuck about them? We've never seen anyone like Brendan Schaub.
Coach HP's got the dude. I'm gonna fuck you so good tonight. Look in his eye.
This is crazy.
I think we need to hit the last half of this video again.
All right, I'm sorry.
Imagine if you do that with Bill Burr and Louis C.K. And I'm never the grind like that never scares me. I embrace the grind.
No, and remember, we're not used to seeing funny guys like you.
Yes.
So it's a first. Like,
See, Brendan, don't say yes to that. That's my issue.
He just goes
yes.
Yeah, but like his body language is he goes, yeah, he covers his mouth and like sits back like, here we fucking go again.
I hope you're right. But I can't imagine someone saying, like, I mentioned the names Bill Burr and Louis C.K., and they're like, but we've never seen anyone like you. And me going, yes, correct. Absolutely. You're right.
All right, but also keep in mind, we're at the point now, this is like 50 minutes in.
Yeah, it's been about an hour of fellatio. So Brendan he's ready to bust. It's about time.
He's just fucking, yeah, it's about time. Dude.
I embrace the grind.
No, and remember, we're not used to seeing funny guys like you.
Yes.
So it's a first, like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait. It
A
takes
first.
Time. It takes time.
That's what's amazing is 100 years of stand-up comedy, essentially.
We've never seen anyone like you.
Never seen anyone like from Lenny Bruce to Mort Saul all the way to fucking Chappelle and Norm Macdonald and Matt Rife. Never seen anyone like you.
Now, the whole reason we've been doing this is to get to this last clip.
Oh yeah, so this is the one that Scion Z pulled, and I think he was correct because this is it's the one clip where you're like, what? We must not understand something about their relationship.
The relationship. There's something we don't know. Like this isn't
Brendan. The kids that Brendan pulled out of a burning car or whatever happened.
Was this
Were
guy
those Coach HP's children?
Or like he's acting like a scorned lover that was left at the altar. So.
This is like Brendan is all this man wants in life is to be with Brendan Schaub. And this clip is just uncomfortable.
It's nuts.
I'm gonna tell you this from the bottom of my heart, man. I might get emotional here. I can't thank you enough.
No,
I'm telling
you're
you,
making me cry.
I've been watching.
Hold on. To be fair, this is exactly what AARP Steve did at the end of the Laugh Boston show. He did break down crying and say, like, I thank you so much for taking me here. It was a great show.
This is another body language move from Schaub, though. He goes, dude, stop. And you can tell he wants to start laughing at this guy crying.
This guy is weeping just at the mere idea of they did not have an emotional conversation throughout this hour. It pretty much what you heard was the tone of the entire hour. And then it ends with him saying, I'm going to get emotional, and he can't keep it together for one more second. He said, I'm going to get emotional right at the buzzer.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to get emotional.
That's a like you're running to the toilet and a little shit gets on your pants as you pull them down. That was an explosion of tears right at the buzzer.
I'm gonna tell you this from the bottom of my heart, man. I might get emotional here. I can't thank you enough.
No, give me this. I'm telling you,
I've been watching your career for a long time, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now, hold on. It is pretty normal for people that have watched Brendan's career for a long time to break down in tears.
Yeah.
It is, I think, Craig and I hugged at the end of Gringo Poppy.
For a while, yeah.
So I understand it. But it doesn't seem like the same reasoning that Coach HP has.
I called Mike at 2 a.m. Of course, he answered, and I was like, dude, I can't get Gringo Poppy out of my head.
You either? Through my tears, of course.
Yeah, and then Mike goes, and Mike was like, what you thinking about?
Brendan!
How do
you do it?
Why was it only 25 minutes?
Oh, you and that mountain lion. The closer was so good. You always leave us wanting more.
I think the name of this episode is going to be I'm going to get emotional here.
You'd be surprised at how moved I am by your comedy.
I feel bad for Coach.
For so many people.
We met for a reason.
And I wanted
See, they're dating. God put us on the same path, man.
Right now, right here in front of these microphones.
Yep.
It feels like we're the only two people on the planet.
Now, is there a shot that after this, Schaub was like, all right, dude, that wasn't live. You still want me to put that out?
Well, it's not Schaub's podcast.
No, I know, but he's like, as a friend, being like, you probably don't want this out there.
Yeah, you don't have to put that up, man.
You can just keep it for yourself and watch it on Christmas.
I think, and this is I'll admit this is based on some Reddit comments that I saw. I think this Coach HP is just such a whore that he wants to be in like the Rogan universe so badly that he's willing to suck anything they put in front of him.
This is not the way to go about it, or the person to suck.
Yeah, what do you think? Rogan's gonna now be like, hey, do you think that monkeys could fly to space or whatever the fuck he asks people now?
Oh, he'd be like, oh yeah, dude, I saw you blow Brendan Schaub. Like, come on my show.
Guy I won't even invite to my new club.
He's not allowed here anymore.
Oh, I will say, I don't know if Brendan's ever admitted this. Maybe he has, because it didn't seem like the first time he said it. But he said that Rogan told him not to do You'd Be Surprised.
He said Rogan told him not to do that?
Yeah. He said, I understand why you would want to. Like, it's hard to turn down the money. It's a big opportunity. You're only 2 years in. But I wouldn't do it if I were you. I don't know if Schaub's ever said that before, but
I don't think so. Because I think that anytime they get together, they just mostly talk about who.
I was surprised. You say you'd be surprised. I was surprised by it.
Stunned.
All right, let's finish this.
This
I mean, this is the the end of Jerry Maguire. Like, I don't understand what I'm watching.
Let's get to the hot load in the back of the throat.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you.
What you do for so many people.
We met for a reason.
And I wanted you to feel this energy that I'm coming to you with, because
no one should feel that. You're a man, Coach HP.
Please stop.
I want you to feel my energy.
Can I just hug you for one more time?
If a girl did this to me, I'd be like, okay, like, I'm pretty uncomfortable, but I appreciate that you liked me this much.
Coach HP is going to start crying and be like, oh, you even smell good.
Are you seeing anyone? I bet you're going to go home to your whore wife after this, aren't you?
Could be us.
What it looks
What
like.
did she give you that I can't?
Vagina. I'll get surgery.
Jesus Christ.
Because I know what it looks like in the world sometimes to you, but it ain't the real world.
Yeah.
The real world needs a guy.
Now, Jim Valvano gave a legendary speech at the ESPYs years ago. He was dying of cancer. He wasn't this emotional. Like, there are men on the brink of death or that are going to war, that rallying the troops, that give speeches that aren't this passionate about what they're talking about.
Okay, I just went and looked at comments real quick, like as this clips playing. Someone wrote, Coach, you seem awesome, but for God's sake, don't get mixed in with Brenda's world. He ditched his, I don't know if this is true, I'm just reading the comment.
Yeah.
He ditched his wife when she miscarried just to go do a podcast and is constantly negative to everyone who can't help him out in some way. And Coach HP responded and just wrote, thanks, brother.
What the hell? Thanks.
Someone underneath wrote, tell Bappa to lay off the Botox. He's looking more puffy than usual.
How? Now, here's where the Fighter of the Kid subreddit goes too far. How do you watch this and criticize Brendan only?
I don't know, but like I said, it says, tell Bappa to lay off the Botox. He's looking more puffy than usual. Coach HP comments, thanks for the comment, my man.
Boy, he knows how to work that algorithm, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I do that sometimes where I respond to obviously negative comments with just like thanks or whatever. It's not like that where they're like, hey, you know, they don't list all of Craig's crimes and I just say thanks, you know? It wouldn't make any sense.
No crimes to list. No
Okay,
crimes to
whatever.
list.
Keep being a leader.
Yep.
Keep doing what you're doing, even if nobody's going west, and you're like, man, my heart tells me to go west. Go west.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
West.
I've been dying to reach
California,
out
I
for
can't
a
really go
while,
much
but I'm
further.
like, you know, because once you send a DM and you're like, you know, but this to me is so important that I
Yeah,
got
Brendan's
to.
just walking into the Pacific Ocean thanks to this guy.
Yeah. He's told me to keep going.
I don't know. He seemed to believe in me. I had no choice.
I mean, I've never felt so good in my life.
He's the only person that's ever believed in me.
I've never felt this good in my entire life. I have to keep going.
That I got to share this opportunity.
Yeah, I
with you, bro.
appreciate
So
it,
I'm
brother.
super
Oh, no,
grateful.
I'm grateful you came, man.
I'm super grateful. Before I let you go, man, any questions for me? Anything I can help you with?
I mean, we're friends.
I was like,
Anything you want to ask me? Yeah. Why were you famous for your dad beating you?
Yeah, we kind of glossed over this, but
We didn't spend nearly enough time on that 40 minutes ago.
I like how I think there's something to this guy just trying to become famous because the waterworks immediately stopped. He's like, anything for me?
Well, they immediately started and immediately stopped. Don't forget that either, where he goes, I'm going to get emotional. Brendan, I love you. All right. Anything you want to ask me now?
Oh, no, I'm grateful you came, man.
I'm super grateful. Before I let you go, man, any questions for me? Anything I can help you with?
I mean, we're friends now, brother. So I'm be blown. See what you came.
Brendan, I'll give Brendan that one. Where
Yeah.
he's like, no, I'll probably just text you all the time. So don't worry about, you know what? And I'll text you first. So don't worry about that.
Yep. If you're like, man, I wonder how he's doing, don't worry. I'll text you when the time's right.
I'll let you know.
Like you can't give Brendan any shit for this.
And hey, if you don't hear from me, it's because I'm so busy being the greatest celebrity on the planet.
This guy's like, you're so great. Any questions for me? And then he just sits there and he's like, he's gonna ask me to join his network.
Yes.
He's gonna ask me to join his network right now.
You want to ask if I have any time to co-host Fighter and the Kid?
I was thinking like a fight companion, but for like the baseball playoffs. What do you think?
Jesus Christ. Is there more to this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
We still got like 30 seconds.
Oh,
now, brother. So I'm be blowing you up. You know, see, you came into my life for a reason. You know, I don't believe in cunt. You know, just coincidence.
I don't believe in cunt.
I believe we met for a reason.
Is that what he just said?
yeah. Not anymore. You've changed my ways. I'm
Yeah.
dicks only.
After this interview, I don't believe in cunt.
See, you came into my life for a reason. You know, I don't believe in cunt. You know, just coincidences. You know, I believe we met for a reason, and you know, I need more people like you in my life, man. You know, so I'm
No,
super
Brendan,
grateful.
you don't.
I don't have enough yes men in my life right now.
You don't need this. Your ego is the least of your problems, Brendan. You do not need this man. You should think of him as poison.
Yes.
He's the last thing you want around you.
brother. And whatever I can do for you, I don't know how I can help you, but I'm always here, man.
Dude, the only way you can help me is I want you to keep doing what you're doing. That'll make me so happy. Just keep doing what you're doing. And let me see if I get Tiger before I leave. I leave tonight I came here for you.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. This man flew in to do this interview with Brendan. I forgot that part of it.
Let me see what the view count's been worth it.
So I don't know if he often it's not. but I don't know if he does coach Brendan's. That's what everyone was saying, was that it's Brendan's kid's baseball coach. And obviously they did some work while he was in California, but I don't know if he's like his regular coach because the guy lives in Florida, I think.
Schaub might pay extra money for like off-season training or something with this guy.
Yeah, that's what some kind of specialist or something.
So this episode's been up for 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the view count's at? And is
it was
it
like 2.6?
1.7?
Oh, okay. Well, hey, well worth the flight.
Oh, God.
Oh, Brendan, I was hoping to buy a plane ticket. Are you available for a pole smoking?
You will fly me in to suck you dry, dude.
Brendan, I know the internet has stopped allowing you to cheat on your wife, so if you'll have me over for a few hours. Jesus Christ. That was like Coach HP should be embarrassed by that. And this is where I say the stuff, and maybe I'm becoming a ninny in my old age, because I said stop talking about Stuttering John, but I want people to bully Stuttering John's an asshole.
Yeah.
He deserves everything he gets. But I just think it'd be funnier to not talk about him and see how he does. But I also get the people that talk about him. On the Fighter and the Kids subreddit, it's like gone too far. Like everything Brendan says, there's a clip where it's like, you believe this fucking idiot? And this, where it's so clearly the other guy is so easily mockable. The comments are like, stay away from this piece of shit, Coach HP. It's like, that's where they're going too far. They've lost their way, I think. They're not about comedy anymore. They're about taking Brendan down.
In Coach HP's defense, at the very beginning of this episode, he goes, "This is the most positive podcast you're ever going to hear."
Boy, I'll say.
I mean, he didn't lie.
You can't say false advertising. All right. Do we have time to do Chris D'Elia now as well? Because that's also very